Hi. So now we're on to the next day of the African safari. And so today is a travel day. So we're going to be, so we were able to do an early morning game drive, and then we were actually moving camps today. And today was a pretty simple movement. All we had to do was take a helicopter to the next camp. So you see our drive kind of around in Chobe National Park here. And and then of course this is the full flight all the way down to Lediba. All right, so Lediba is our final stop. And in the morning we had a game drive, and in the evening we had a game drive at a different camp. All right. So today was very interesting. We got to see some new wildlife as well as some of the repeats that we have had throughout. So let's get started with it. I've actually got quite a few photos and videos here because there were some really interesting things to see. Okay, so this is at Linyanti, and I just wanted to show you, this is kind of the shower in the tent. Now, that blue looks like a painting, and it's not. It's the outside, so that is the screen that's looking out towards the back of our tent. And so I just wanted you to see that. It was just kind of interesting to me, just how much, you were kind of in it, right? And so without seeing something like that, you wouldn't have any idea until you go to a place like this. It was really cool. Okay, so this is out the back of the tent. You can see kind of the screen there. And this looked out on that flat delta. And I'm pretty sure there's water in there at other times of the year. Okay, so this is the walking path down towards our tent. It's down back that way. This that's over on the right-hand side there, that's actually the pool area. And here's a picture of the pool. This, of course, is after the rainstorm the previous evening. So the decks are kind of wet and all that sort of stuff. But as you can see, like even with people walking around, it's not muddy like I was talking about yesterday. It's just not, the sand just absorbs this water really good. So this was our tent. So as you can see, it's got poles and everything, but largely this is enclosed with heavy canvas. That's pretty much the only thing between you and wildlife. And this is a little further back, so you can see that leadwood tree in front, which we talked about the leadwood trees. They kill themselves over time because of their high salt content. Okay, this is the main tent of Linyanti. It's where we had a lot of our meals, etc. The deck of the main tent. You can see it's still wet from the day before. And there's a little watering hole out there, but it's drying up at this time of year that we were there. Okay, so one of the things that our guide was trying to find for us on this day was lion cubs. She knew that they were around, and she didn't tell us that that's what she was trying to find. And we were driving kind of along the bank of this delta, and Alex spotted them. It was very cool. They were kind of nestled into the bank there. And so these are different ages of lion cubs. So this appeared to be the oldest one. These two are also sort of teenage cubs, and this is the baby of them all. Now, I have told you that, these animals, they get used to in their lifetime, if they're around these vehicles much, they kind of get used to them. So like this guy in front, he didn't move. He didn't move at all. He was like, whatever. These two older ones back there didn't move either. But this one, when we first came up, the little one, he was actually out here kind of hanging with his brother. But he quickly moved in the back with the two in the back because he's not used to vehicles yet, as the other three are. So he moved pretty quickly. So I've actually got quite a few photos and videos of these cubs. They were so fun to look at. We probably sat there for 20 or 30 minutes looking at these beauties. So you see how they blend into the grass, especially in the dry season.
And it's been so nice to notice how when they're together, even the mom, they're all together. Yeah. If that she is
One has put his paw on the little one.
oh yeah. And even the older girls, like they really stay together. And they're very comfortable with the vehicles. The only one that is a bit skittish is the youngest one. She's still trying to get stage 2.
All right. I mean, look at them. Look how gorgeous they are.
My in-house photographer. Taking photos. It's so beautiful. This front one is going to be, is this a male? It's going to be a male. We can see the face and the skin there. Yeah. So I'm already practicing being basset.
Yeah, so our guide was saying that, you know, the one out in front is probably the oldest cub, and the lioness has probably put him in charge of the rest of them while she's off hunting, doing whatever she's doing. They're just gorgeous. Now, one of the things that I haven't talked about on these videos is at a lot of these parks, individuals can rent not an RV per se, but kind of like a truck with a tent on top, or like a Jeep with a tent on top. And so one day when we were out with this guide, you know, this dude comes out of the woods, the thicket, whatever. It comes up to talk to her, and we're like, okay, interesting. You know, and we had seen them around. We had seen these vehicles in the different national parks and had wondered a little bit about what they were doing. And it was like they're doing individual camping in the national park. And, you know, and I've thought about that. I've thought about, oh my God, would I have the courage, you know, to do something like that? Because, like, clearly here in Chobe National Park, there are lions, right? In Hawangi, there were lions, right? We saw lionesses for the first time there, you know? And so it's like, I be, you know, a person who would have the courage to do something like that? Because you're on your own. You're not with a guide. You know, I don't read signs like they do, right? Yeah, sort of swiping away bugs.
Across the walls like that.
Our house cat crosses paws like that. Just beautiful. So anyway, I thought about what is it like, you know, potentially to, you know, get a permit and rent a vehicle that has a tent on top, you know, because I'm thinking, you know, how are you going to have food for your stay? You know, it's not like there's a lot of amenities around at all, you know, and would that not attract lions or other animals to your vehicle? You know, it was just bizarre, you know, to think that somebody'd want to do that. This is one of my favorite photographs because I love this one where he's yawning and I get kind of a full set of teeth. Now he's not full grown yet, and those are going to be big, lovely teeth. Okay. I just can't even imagine. Oh, Alex was singing to them. And so, yeah, so the individual camping idea was something that I even still, now that we're back from Africa, I think, whew, I don't know if I could do that, especially for a long period of time. That would seem weird. Um, But these cubs were fantastic. So by the time we had sat there for a while, and of course the our guide had turned off the Toyota engine, so this little one came back out and started to kind of interact with this older male lion. So they're kind of hanging out together now, and they're so cute. So getting closer and closer to Big Brother. There's a close-up of the little one. And then the little one comes over and sits on Big Brother. And then they kind of hang out together. It's very cool. Okay. So on the way back, we ran across a giraffe. One of my better close-ups of a giraffe. And we got ready to get back into the helicopter to go to the next camp. So this is after we've taken off. The water buffalo are out there. They kind of hung out there quite a bit along the edge of this delta. And this is in the helicopter as we're going to Lediba. You can see the landscape there. So as you can see, we're not real far off the ground. It's maybe 1,000 feet, if that, maybe. Kind of like a hot air balloon kind of situation. Okay, so once we get to Lediba, we've checked in there and we've gotten to our tent. This is like a side view of the porch that kind of wraps around this tent. And out there, just where those trees are, is the river is running by here. This was a beautiful tent. The bed, there's actually over here I actually have pictures of it. Every tent and every facility had an outside shower, which we did not use the outside shower only because usually in the mornings, it was early mornings that we were going out on game drives. And so it was kind of cold in the mornings. So we didn't use it until the last day here at Lediba because we didn't have to get up until like 8 o'clock in the morning or so. So the sun had started to come out and all that. So it was a little warmer and you could see a little better. So I felt more comfortable in actually using an outside shower. It was very, very interesting to use. The little seating area. And this is actually on the main tent and looking out over this little area next to the river. The landscape and a lovely termite mound right there in the forefront. This was on the evening game drive. We saw this wildebeest. I thought this was kind of a cool picture with that bird there. I didn't ask what kind of bird that was though. So handsome fella. Okay, so we got to see cheetah. So I've got quite a few video and pictures of a mom cheetah and her daughter. Okay, so there's quite a few of them, pictures of them and video of them. They were looking around for potential food for sure. It was amazing to see these. Now with those spots and everything, they blend in pretty well to the grass too. It's amazing. Look at how it's blending in. It's pretty amazing. It almost looks like some sort of weird mosaic painting of some sort. You know, it's like those uh uh pictures you find where it's like, can you see the elephant in this photograph, right? you know. It was amazing. And so there's the mother and the daughter together. The daughter's just slightly smaller. Okay, so there you can see them together. Yeah. And it's almost like a blur, seeing them in this photograph. You can barely make out the daughter in the back there. Kind of like that picture. It almost looks like a double exposure, but it isn't. I got some really incredible close-up photos of them. Now they climb up on these dead anthills, to get a better vantage point, for looking for prey. And you can tell it's a dead ant or a dead termite mound because of the kind of gaping holes that kind of develop in it. Other animals live in them once the termites have died or vacated it, whatever they do. This is the younger female. This is the daughter. You can tell she's just slightly smaller. Look at that paw in the back that's kind of gripping onto the termite mound, the dead termite mound. It's amazing. And there they are, both together. And the mom is coming around on the other side, and I get some really good close-up photos of her. This is her. You can tell her chest is a little fuller. She's just a little bit bigger in girth. Amazing. I just couldn't get rid of any of these pictures. They were so good. Even the profiles and full-on face and everything, just amazing. Look at that. And I can't remember. I think she was maybe within about 5 to 10 feet of where we were in the vehicle. Maybe a meter or two between us. At best, 2 meters. And you can tell that they're just kind of like, it's whatever this animal is. They're not paying us. Never mind. They don't care. As long as we're not bothering them, they're not going to bother us. Just beautiful. I like that when I got the closed eyes. It's pretty cool. Okay. And then this was towards the end of the evening as we're headed back to the camp, and we run across some lionesses come around. I don't know if they were hunting or not. They were just kind of moving from one spot to another. And we were in the tall grasses with them. This one I thought was a cool photo because she's sniffing the air. And you've probably, if you own a domestic cat, you've probably seen them do this where they kind of scrunch up their nose and they got their teeth open and everything, and they're basically gathering scent and everything. Um, that was a really interesting photograph of her. So she's not growling or anything. She's just, taking in all the scent of what's around her. There they are, continuing to sniff and look. It was just these two that we kind of stumbled upon on our way back. And that's it. That's it for that day. And again, this was Botswana. This was Lediba Camp in Botswana through African bush camps. And we booked the whole trip through a company called Africa Dynamics in Bellevue, Washington. They are fantastic at helping to put together an itinerary for what you would like to see and do on the African continent. So I highly recommend them. All right. Thanks so much, and I'll be back with another video.